Hello everybody, hello, welcome back to the Dugout Football channel where it is time for my Premier League predicted table 2020-21 season. Now we've only a week to go until the new season starts, and obviously with the transfer window still happening as well, we will go into the Premier League predicted table. But obviously before I start, please hit the subscribe button if you are new around here as well, and smash a like on this video as well. So, starting things off, obviously I will go through all the teams 20 to 1, so basically bottom to top, and we'll see where I put your club. So, 20th place, I have West Bromwich Albion. Now, obviously great for Slaven Bilic to get his team back up to the Premier League. They are a bit of a yo-yo club, it has to be said. However, their squad, they haven't really strengthened much. The only ones I've seen that they've signed is Matteo Pereira, who they had on loan last season. He's signed on a permanent deal. Cedric Kipre as well from Wigan Athletic. He is signed for West Brom as well. And it's mainly a championship squad, it has to be said. It is mainly a championship squad, especially with obviously Charlie Austin, Hal Robson-Kanu. Obviously Charlie Austin's been in the Premier League before with obviously QPR and obviously Southampton as well. But yeah, I just got a feeling West Brom will be really. I think they'll try to be difficult to beat at the Hawthorns for sure. It's just their away form. I do worry for them, and they've got a really bad run in as well for the for the season. So I can really only see West Brom finishing bottom, and I think it will be straight back down to the Championship for West Brom. But obviously they do give teams a lot of problems at times, but I've just got a feeling that this may be a season too far for West Brom. I put them in 20th. But we all know what happened last season with obviously Sheffield United. I obviously had them 18th last season, so we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have another story like that, but I'll say this. I'm going to say West Brom to finish 20th. 19th place, I've gone for another one of the new boys. I have gone for Fulham. Now, I think Fulham did really well to get into the Premier League after obviously beating Brentford in the playoff final. And I'm going to say, I think, looking at their squad again, I mean, Mario Lemina is a cracking signing. They've got Harrison Reed as well from Southampton. And I think they've got Anthony Robinson as well from Wigan, who was obviously linked with a move to AC Milan last January as well. So, looking at this, I can really only see Fulham finishing 19th. I think they will have a good season. I think Mitrovic's goals are going to be very important as well. Defensively, I do worry for Fulham. I think midfield and attack they're okay, but defensively, you do have to worry about them. Scott Parker's done a fantastic job to get them back into the Premier League at the first time of asking. And I think they've learned their lesson now. I don't think they're going to be spending much in the transfer market. Because obviously the last time they were up, they obviously made that mistake of spending far too much on players. And it's going to be very interesting to see how well they do. But I'm going to say Fulham will go straight back down to the Championship in 19th place. 18th place, I think this team was very lucky to survive last season. I have gone for Aston Villa to be in that final relegation spot. I have to say, Aston Villa did a big mistake last season in the transfer market. Bought players willy-nilly, and basically players who weren't really Premier League proven. Obviously Wesley was a big one for that. Samata as well, Marvelous Nakamba. Like, there were some players in that team where you'd have to say that they weren't Premier League proven. So I do think Aston Villa will go down this season. I think they were very fortunate to stay up on the final day of last season. Obviously another goal would have relegated them, and obviously Bournemouth would have stayed up by then. But just looking at Aston Villa's squad, they haven't really strengthened this season. Maybe they're just taking a bit of note into the fact that they did spend £100 million last transfer window, and I think they want to not have that mistake again. So I'm going to put Aston Villa 18th. So my 3 to go down are West Brom, Fulham and Aston Villa. Let me know your 3 to go down in the comment section down below. 17th place, I've gone for West Ham United. I think West Ham are in for a bit of a struggle. Apparently there's no money at all for new players. They seem to be looking to sell to buy as well, but there isn't any money on the West Ham board that they're giving David Moyes. So maybe it's free agents that they need. Obviously, the only signing that they've made is obviously Thomas Soucek. He obviously had a very good season for West Ham last season, and he's obviously signed on a permanent deal as well. So obviously there's a lot of rumours of a Declan Rice as well for West Ham. But if Antonio can get the goals for West Ham, then maybe they might get away from that relegation battle. But I do think they're in a relegation battle, especially with the fact that they haven't strengthened that team at all. And also about the fact that there's no money involved for West Ham. So I'm going to put West Ham 17th. And I think it'll be a long season for West Ham. But they are just surviving, in my honest opinion. 16th place, I've gone for Crystal Palace. Now, obviously I said Crystal Palace last season to obviously finish 13th. And obviously they finished 14th last season. So looking at this, Crystal Palace, it's a big if. It is a big if because Zaha is continuously being linked away with a move. If Palace do sell him, then one injury to Ayew, one injury to Benteke, then they're struggling. They are absolutely struggling. They have brought Eze from Queen's Park Rangers, but I'll have to say this. I think looking at their squad, it's not the best. They definitely need another striker because Christian Benteke, for as much as he has been good in the past for Villa, and obviously he was very poor at Liverpool, came to Palace, just hasn't happened for him. Obviously Alexander Zorloff as well, he seems to be leaving for RB Leipzig, if you want to believe the transfer rumours as well. It's going to be very interesting. But I think this is a season for Crystal Palace where they could just survive. And I'm going to put them 16th. I do think they're in for a bit of a struggle though. And looking at, obviously, Roy Hodgson is now the oldest manager in the Premier League at 72 years old. Yeah, it's looking like I think Crystal Palace are in for a bit of a struggle. But if they do, strengthen a lot, if they keep Zaha, then maybe you see them climbing up the table. But I just think this season may be a season where they could be in a relegation battle. I'm going to put Crystal Palace 16th this season. 15th place. Now, they finished here last season as well. I put Brighton. Now, Brighton have made some very good signings, I think. Veltman from Ajax, Adam Lallana from Liverpool. Obviously, Ben White is obviously staying at the club as well. Lewis Dunk signing a new contract as well. That was crucial for Brighton, especially with Chelsea sniffing in for him. Brighton play some good football, and Graham Potter did a really good job last season. It's interesting to see if they can actually continue this. I don't think they'll be in a relegation battle. I've said this quite a few times. I think Brighton will be okay. I think they've got a good squad now. I think we've obviously Mopé up front. You're going to get goals. Trossard on the wings as well. He is very, very good. Very, very good. And obviously they have lost Aaron Moy, but Adam Lallana, can he get a continued run in that Brighton team? If he can, I think Brighton will be safe as anything. So I'm going to put Brighton 15th. Maybe I've put them too low. Maybe. Because some of the signings that they are making are fantastic. So I've put Brighton to be 15th in the table. 14th place, I've gone for Newcastle United. Interestingly enough, I think Newcastle United, I do think they are going to struggle again. It's just defensively, goalkeeper, midfield, they're absolutely fine. It's just up front that really, really worries me. Joe Linton It'd be interesting to see how well he does this week. But that's one thing I can say. There is talk Ryan Fraser is potentially signing for Newcastle. I think it'll be a cracking signing. And obviously you've got Almiron as well. You've got Alan Saint-Maximin as well. So Newcastle United, Steve Bruce did a very good job last season. I think with obviously the failed takeover as well, it's not the best place to be at the moment on Tyneside, but I just think Newcastle will be comfortable. I think they'll be comfortable mid-table, and I think they'll survive pretty comfortably. So I've put Newcastle United to be 14th. 13th. I've gone for Burnley. Maybe a bit of surprise to people, but Burnley are in big financial trouble. One man that can obviously save them is Sean Dyche. If he leaves Burnley, then I think they could potentially go down. But I'm putting them in 13th. I think they've got a good squad. Obviously, they've lost Joe Hart to Tottenham. Not much of a loss, because obviously you've got Nick Pope in goal. You've got Bailey Peacock Farrell as well in there as well. The big question marks over Dwight McNeil. Obviously, there is a lot of rumours about Dwight McNeil potentially leaving the club. That could be interesting. That could be very interesting indeed. Also, the fact is that obviously Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, they need them to be firing. And, they're good defensively anyway, but it's a very tricky place to go to, Turf Moor. I do think Burnley will survive pretty comfortably as well. But it's a big if. If Sean Dyche does leave Burnley, then you may see them plummeting down the table. But at this moment in time, he is still at the club. He is still there. Burnley Burnley are a very tricky team to beat, but I think they're going to be comfortable in mid-table. 13th place, maybe a bit disappointing for them because obviously they finished 10th last season, but I think there are other teams around them that have improved. So I'm going to put Burnley 13th in this table. 12th, I've put Sheffield United. Now, I'm going to say this now. I do worry for Sheffield United. I do worry that there was maybe a second season syndrome coming in. However, looking at their squad, it's mainly much of the same squad last season. Obviously, they've signed Wes Foderingham. They have signed Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth. So that's one thing they've obviously got out the way is the goalkeeping situation. I think Aaron Ramsdale is a very good signing. Will he be able to get up to the numbers that Dean Henderson did? That'll be interesting to see. But looking at this, I think Sheffield United's squad is very good. McBurney, Mousset, two good strikers there. Obviously McGoldrick as well. And defensively, they're absolutely sound as anything. So I do worry for them because obviously second season syndrome, but I think they'll survive pretty comfortably as well. And it's really nice to see how well they're going to do. But I'm going to put them in 12th. Again, fantastic season they had last season, finishing 9th. And it was amazing that they managed to get as far as they did as well. So I'm going to put them 12th this season. 11th, I have gone for the new boys, Leeds United. I think Leeds United are going to shock a lot of people this season. The signings that they are making at the moment are absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Robin Koch from Freiburg, Rodrigo from Valencia, club record signing at £30 million. If you remember, their club record signing was Rio Ferdinand for £18 million in 2001. So, you know what, Leeds United, good squad. Obviously, they've still got a chance to obviously buy more players. Rodrigo de Paul, I think, from Udinese is another one that they seem to be being linked with. But Leeds United, for me, I think out of the teams that have come up, obviously West Brom and Fulham, I think they're the most prepared. Bielsa is going to be a fantastic character in the Premier League this season. It's going to be very interesting. And I think Leeds United are going to shock a few people. So I put them 11th for the season. Now we come into the top 10. And 10th, I've gone for Everton. Now, they need to improve. They definitely need to improve from last season because they finished 12th last season. poor finish it was, and obviously they did lose on the final day to Bournemouth. But having said that, they are due to be making some good signings. Rumoured to be Alan from Napoli. I think that's a fantastic signing. James Rodriguez as well. We'll see him in the Premier League. Looking forward to that one. They've obviously got the firepower of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison. They've got a good squad, Everton. So, and the first full season for Carlo Ancelotti could be a lot of fun. Could be a lot of fun for Everton. So, I've put Everton to be 10th this season. I think Everton will make the top 10 for this season. I think it'll be a very, very interesting season to see how well they do. 9th place. I think this team is going to surprise a few people as well. Southampton. I was very impressed with the way that they did last season under Hasenhüttl. Yes, a tale of two halves. Obviously, first half they were very, very poor, but the second half they were absolutely fantastic. I think they went on a run of 12 to 13 games unbeaten away from home. So I think if they can get Che Adams firing, they can get Danny Ings firing, and a couple of more players as well, I think they'll be absolutely fine. I think Southampton are going to be having a good season. I've put them to be 9th this season, so we'll see what happens for sure, but I've put Southampton to be 9th. 8th place, I've gone for Wolves. Pretty much, I'm going to say this now, Doherty's a big loss. I think that's a very good signing for Tottenham. But they have still kept the majority of their squad. Raul Jimenez, Adama Traore, Podence, Neves, Moutinho. They've still got a cracking squad there. Be interesting to see, because obviously there is rumours that obviously Nuno hasn't signed a new contract yet. I think he will sign a new contract. I think he is one of those managers who will just stick around and sign a new deal for sure. But I've put Wolves to be 8th. I think looking at that, they were very, very close to being in the top 4 last season. They played really, really well. But a top 8 finish, I think that's what Wolves need to do. Continuously, and especially with that squad that they've got, I think they'll be absolutely fine. So I've gone for 8th place, Wolves. 7th place, I've gone for Leicester City. Now, yeah, this is a really interesting one, because obviously Leicester City are in the group stage of the Europa League, so it's going to be very interesting to see how well they do, for sure. Be interesting to see what Brendan Rodgers does. Will he play strong in the Premier League and then maybe rotate in the Europa League? That could be something that's very interesting to see. They have potentially signed Timothy Castagna from Atalanta as well. I think that's a good signing. I think it's a very good signing. Although he is not a left back. Apparently he's a right back who can play left back. So that's very interesting to see. But I think Leicester will be fine. I'm not one of those ones who says that Leicester's form last season, 23 points out of a possible 57 to end the season. It wasn't great. Let's put it that way. It was not great, but I do think that Leicester will have a better season, and I do think Europa League will be interesting to see how well they do. But I've put them 7th. So we'll see what happens for sure. 6th place, I've gone for Arsenal. Now, as far as I'm aware, Arsenal have signed Gabriel Willian, and apparently there's another one that's coming off the top of my head. I can't remember. But Arsenal, I think Arsenal are going to surprise a few. I think Arteta's a very good manager. Again, in Europa League as well. So it'll be interesting to see how well they can do there. Aubameyang's the big one though. Can he sign a new contract? I think if Aubameyang signs a new contract, I think Arsenal are set for the season. There could be incomings, there could be outgoings as well. But Arsenal, for me, I think last season was a very poor season by their standards. If they can get top 6, they'll be going for the top 4 for sure. I just don't think their squad is that good enough yet to be top 4 contenders. But I'm going to put Arsenal in 6th place. 5th place, I've gone for Tottenham Hotspur, just missing out on the top 4. Tottenham need to have a better season because obviously last season, they got rid of Pochettino, brought Mourinho in, and then the football was a bit stale, to be honest with you. So, it's going to be interesting, but, we all love Jose. Maybe not his style of football, but in the press conferences, he is a right laugh when he does that. But Tottenham, they've signed Joe Hart. Joe Hart isn't going to get any games, so, that was a bit of a weird one. They have signed Pierre-Emile Højbjerg from Southampton. I think that's a great signing for Tottenham. And, the firepower that they've got as well. Heung-min Son, Steven Bergwijn, Eric Lamela, Harry Kane, Dele Alli. It's a very, very good attack, isn't it? It is a very, very good attack. But I think Tottenham will just miss out on the top 4. I think Europa League is going to take a hell out of a lot of them as well. So I'm going to go for Tottenham to finish 5th. But I think it'll be very, very close between 5th and 4th place this season. So we come into the top 4. And my 4th place team is Manchester United. Now, Manchester United are about to sign Donny van de Beek from Ajax. I think that's a cracking signing. They are being linked with Thiago. They are being linked with Dayot Upamecano as well. If they can get any of those players in, then they've got a very, very good squad going into the season. Obviously, Dean Henderson has signed a new contract. He isn't going out on loan as far as I'm aware. So it's looking like it's going to be between De Gea and Henderson for the goalkeeper for number 1. That's going to be interesting. That is going to be very, very interesting. Who will start the season as number 1? For me, if I was a Man United fan, I would probably want Henderson. But I think it might be De Gea. I do think it might be De Gea. But Manchester United, if Fernandes can keep firing what he's been doing. Martial had a very good season last season. Rashford, before his injury, was looking like a very, very good player as well. If they can get a Sancho, if they can get a Grealish, then I think they've got a very, very good chance of the squad. And obviously back in the Champions League as well, that's going to be very, very interesting for Manchester United. But I've just put them 4th. I just think that they will be definitely challenging with Tottenham and Arsenal for that top 4. And I think they will get 4th place. Because of the firepower that they have at their disposal. Greenwood as well, which is another one fantastic. So, going for Manchester United to finish 4th this season. 3rd place, I've gone for Chelsea. Now, Chelsea are doing bits in the transfer window. Let me just go for the players that they've signed. Thiago Silva, Malang Sarr, Hakan Ziyech, Timo Werner, potentially Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz is all but done as well. Being linked with Donnarumma as well, AC Milan. They're doing bits in this transfer window. Ben Chilwell, there's another one as well. So they've done a lot of good stuff in the transfer window. However, I am worried for Frank Lampard now. Because, if you're being honest, if Frank Lampard doesn't start very well for Chelsea, then you could see him going out the door. Yes, club legend and all, but there's no sentimentality when that comes to the management side of things. And looking at Chelsea, they will be determined to challenge the top 2 of Liverpool and Manchester City, because the gap last season to 1st and 2nd, 1st and 2nd could have been, it was a big gap for sure. But you know what, Chelsea, they've got a good squad. They need to gel that squad together to get them firing. But I think Chelsea will be fine. I think they'll get 3rd place. I think they'll be pretty comfortable in 3rd place as well. But Frank Lampard, he has to win. He has to win more games this season. Because I think during the end of the season, I think he was getting outdone tactically as well. So, but I'm going to put Chelsea 3rd. Because of the signings that they made, and I just think they'll be too comfortable in the top 4. So I think they're definitely top 4 contenders for sure. So that leaves 2 teams, and that leaves Liverpool and Manchester City. So who do I think will win the title this season? Who have I put as my 2nd place? My second place is Manchester City. Yes, I have put Man City to finish second. Yes, there's all the talk about Messi potentially to Manchester City. However, I have a feeling that Pep Guardiola will be determined to go a game with Manchester City this season. They will definitely be determined to win the Premier League again, to take the title off Liverpool. However, be interesting to see how well they can actually do with obviously the Champions League as well. They're back in the Champions League. They did fluff their lines in the Champions League though. So will Guardiola be tempted to go all out again to win the Champions League? That would be interesting to see for sure. But Man City have, bought a good centre-back in Nathan Ake and Ferran Torres as well. There is obviously this talk about Messi. There's obviously this talk about Koulibaly as well. So I think Man City are definitely one to watch for next season. But be interesting to see how well they can actually, do in the Premier League and the Champions League. And obviously you've got the Carabao Cup as well and the FA Cup. But I just think Man City, just something still isn't right in the Man City squad. Need to improve defensively as well. Obviously they're losing a club legend in David Silva as well. Can Aguero stay fit? That's one thing you can say. Can Aguero stay fit? Who knows? But second place, I've gone for Man City. So first place, I've gone for Liverpool to finish first place again. But I don't think it's going to be as comfortable as last season. Let's put it that way. 18 points margin that they won it by last season. I just think they'll be determined to retain it. Only Manchester City have retained it in the last decade as well. It's not easy trophy to retain, but if Liverpool can get a couple of signings in, if they can continue the way that they've been doing, yes, the Champions League is going to be very, very interesting to see how well they can do in that competition. It'll be also interesting to see how well they can do in the Premier League as well. But obviously that first game of the season, Liverpool against Leeds, is going to be absolutely fantastic as well. But I think Liverpool got good enough squad to challenge. Yes, they may need reinforcements as well, but that first 11 is a very, very good first 11. And obviously we've seen obviously Curtis Jones coming through. We've obviously seen Ryan Brewster potentially coming through as well, and obviously Keita as well. He could be a good key player for Liverpool this season. But yeah, I've gone for Liverpool to win the Premier League again. So guys, let me know your tables in the comment section down below. Let me know your top 4. Let me know your bottom 3 as well. But yeah, that's my Premier League predicted table done and dusted. And we shall see how right I get, because obviously last season I got 1 out of 20, which was not very, very good. But yeah, guys, if you are new around here, then please hit that subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and yeah, we will see how well I do when the season ends on the 26th of May. Looking forward to the Premier League coming back. Week to go, a week on Saturday. It's going to be very, very good indeed. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.